Oh, darling. It's a special day. It's a special one. Do you know why? Now, yeah, I'll ask you. Do you know why it's special? This is where you say no.
No,
Okay, good.
I don't know.
Well, this is the 1 year anniversary of mine and Stella's podcast.
Congratulations.
So, yeah, you're on it too.
I'm so happy for you
The
guys.
the three of us, you, me, Stella, and you, our podcast. Our next chapter podcast, 1 year old.
1 year.
1 year.
Did it.
We did it. I can't believe it. We did it.
Coincidentally, it was not planned, but we launched our podcast on Valentine's Day.
I know.
So happy Valentine's Day.
It's another thing we need to talk about.
Uh-huh.
You haven't asked me to be your Valentine yet, and I'm getting a lot of offers right now.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to weigh it out. You know, I do have one offer. I just tell you, first initial is S.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
She is making a pretty strong bid.
Of
to
what?
be my
How
Valentine.
to pet her and give her cookies for Valentine's? Yeah.
That's what I was going to do for you.
Okay. I'll take it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've still got a little time.
Yeah.
A little time, but
it's going to be like Hoko, you know, where you're going to make a big sign and do like a big to-da or to-do.
Maybe.
Will you be my Valentine?
Why wouldn't you ask me to be your Valentine?
Because I already did.
When?
Oh, you must have been asleep.
25 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
25 years of Valentine's.
Mine too. Same. I called dibs forever.
No, I said it first.
Uh-huh.
So I can't wait.
I can't wait to see something special. A big, grand rom-com gesture.
Okay. Finally. Gosh. I need a little more romance in my life. Okay. Mm-hmm. I need you to like buy me flowers and pet Stella and let me pet Stella. That's like the perfect Valentine's Day.
Wow.
You know?
Don't ask for much.
I know. I'm an easy fella.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that you're going to be my forever Valentine.
Forever and ever.
Forever and ever. You don't have to ask me.
Happy Valentine's and happy 1 year podcast anniversary.
I know. What'd you get me?
This podcast.
Oh, I thought you were going to say this song, like this theme song, you know, like you're going to do like a cool.
Ask me again. Ask me again.
Well, happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you. Happy Valentine's and happy podcast anniversary.
What are you going to get me?
I got you a theme song of our love.
Oh.
Welcome to the Our Next Chapter podcast. I'm Andrea.
And I'm Matt.
We are a married couple together for 25 years since... Why are you like this?
What?
You can do it. You can do the intro. And I'll sit here, oh, man, 25 years. Oh, kill me now.
This is all staying in. I love it. It's making me happy.
No.
Fine, you can go back to the top.
You had my whole youth. 25 years.
It's making it in the podcast.
No.
Putting you in.
No. Welcome to Our Next Chapter podcast. I'm Andrea.
And I'm Matt.
We are a married couple.
Yep.
How long have we been together, Matt?
25 long years.
Happy, beautiful years?
Not my youth at all. Just 25.
Why are you like this? This is our Valentine's anniversary podcast.
If I'm not poking at you, it's not our thing, you know?
But it doesn't have to be about our relationship.
The audience is used to this kind of tension, you know? And it gives me dopamine. That's really what it is.
It does not. It takes mine. Whatever you're getting, you're stealing from me.
Okay, I'll borrow it. I'll give it back to you.
Welcome to Our Next Chapter podcast. I'm Andrea.
And I am Matt.
And we are a married couple.
Yes, we are.
Together since 10th grade.
10th grade?
25 years now.
25 long years.
I'm going to let that go. Married for 20. And we have 2 almost grown kids. They are 14 and 18 now. We have a whole adult child. Very weird. And so as we found ourselves with a little more free time, we started reading romance novels together.
And then what happened?
Loved them. And then you said, why don't we try writing one together? And let's make a podcast documenting that process.
It's happening.
Writing our novels. So we started it, and you are along on that journey
Welcome.
with us, and we appreciate it. And over time, the podcast evolved to playing games and spotlighting authors we love, and then now interviewing authors we love. And so we are so excited to have you with us today. We have a great author to chat with.
Yeah.
We're excited to...
We have a great author. We're talking to Sophie Sullivan, but also first we had a bit of a revelation.
It's true. It's true. As we thought about our big 1-year anniversary, we had some big news we did not know about.
This whole time we've been saying we are not published authors, but I realized, and you realized, we are actually already
authors. Yes. Our parents helped us to realize that we actually we didn't meet our goal to write our book in the first year of our podcast, but we have both already written books.
We've written our book.
Let me show mine first. Okay, because yours is a little
have the same
fancier.
title. I didn't realize that.
I think maybe it was an assignment at school that year or something.
Okay.
We were in the same school district, so it's possible.
That's true.
Matt might read a little of his. I will not. Mine is so cringe. I can't do it. But here's my book, My Life, from September of 1994.
Okay.
Which it was on my mom's birthday. So I assume I wrote it for her birthday, which, this would have been her 30th birthday. I thought she was so grown. That's crazy. No, that would have been her 30th. Cool. Yeah, that's crazy.
Maybe.
Wow. Anyway, so it's cringe. I think it was right after. Well, no, we didn't have a computer at home yet, so we must have done this at school. It must have been an assignment. But I'll just read the...
Give me a couple highlights. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me just read the dedication.
Okay. So ready.
Dear Mom.
Dear Mom.
For your birthday, let me say... Oh, I did put it in here. I'm 10. I wanted to qualify with that.
I may put some Doogie Howser music under this.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best.
For your birthday, I decided to write you a book about how you raised me and how much further we have to go.
Wow.
Now I'm getting older and becoming more of a woman day by day. Although I'm only 10, I'm fixing to start getting my woman features.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Woman features, huh?
Yeah. I'll always love you and always thank you for what you've done for me. So I've dedicated this book to you and to you alone for all the wonderful things you've done. I even signed it with my fancy signature.
That's pretty good. You put your good signature out there.
I really worked hard on that one. So I'm not going to go into the details of the book, but what I did love is that at the end, I'm not concluding this book because my life hasn't been concluded. When I turned 20, I guess if it did conclude, would I still write the ending? I don't know how that works. When I turn 20, I will write the second half of this book. So be sure and pull this out to remind me that I have to write the second half when I turn 20. I give you my word that I'll write the second half.
So let's talk about the second half.
I blame my mom for not bringing this out when I turned 20. Yes.
It's her fault that she didn't remind you.
Because now it's been 30 years.
You need the third part of that.
Yes, and fourth.
Yikes.
So anyways, yes, published author right here. That's me.
That's pretty good. My Life. Well, I also wrote a My Life book. It's got my picture on the front.
Yeah, pretty adorable.
Hardcover.
Yeah, it's a fancy one. Your school must have had more money.
What I liked is that it has a spine, right? And it says My Life by my name. And then I'm Random House. So Random House published this.
You went the route.
Random House Publishing Company. It's in there. And I won't read too much about it because it's actually, it's really good. It's very, very good. I worked very hard. It's got a picture of my early years with me and my sister. And then my childhood where it talks about me playing sports like basketball and things. And I even have my basketball card in there. It's pretty great.
It's really worth something now, your rookie card.
My rookie card. I may sign it and hand it out in an event. And then I get into my young adulthood, which I think is when I started speculating on
what was going to happen. Because you were about, 7th grade?
Yeah. It's got a date in here somewhere. But basically what happens is I get so good at basketball, I go to Duke.
Wow.
And I become like a number 1 pick. And
you won. Okay.
And then I move into my career where I'm just like
a pro
and multiple championships.
What team drafted you?
It was the Pacers, Indiana Pacers, because I was I won 13 MVPs and 10 championships.
Wow, with the Pacers?
With the Pacers, Indiana Pacers, because I was a Reggie Miller fan at the time.
First round draft pick.
I did want to point out, I have a picture of my wife in here.
You already knew? You just saw me coming?
Kinda.
Okay, let's see.
My wife was, and I took a picture. That's right.
Alicia
Silverstone. That's right.
Your first crush.
My first crush. So she was my wife named Alexandria in this book.
It's close, Andrea, Alexandra. Yeah.
And so later years, I'm now 70 and happily retired with Alexandria while our son Alex is attending we have a son named Alex.
Alex, that's our main character in our book. Nice coincidence.
And ever since Random House asked me to write this autobiography, I wrote my life. My glory days are over, but I'm still happy.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So I'm living strong. And then, there's an epilogue written by Alexandria.
Oh, how sweet of her.
To write my epilogue about me. I love my husband, and we are happy and rich. I'm also very proud of him and all of his accomplishments. We love our son, and he's going to law school to become a lawyer, but his favorite sport is still basketball. Mm-hmm. So, I am officially a published author. You know what I mean? Random House picked me up. I'm waiting for the checks to come in.
Yeah, still. Well, the $50 million or whatever.
I did have like a $50 million contract in there too. Yeah. So I'm waiting for both of those things.
You were a creative young fella.
There I am. Man, look at that fella right there.
Handsome boy.
Handsome boy.
So cute.
So yeah, I hate to, drop that bomb on our anniversary, but we are published authors already.
Congratulations to us. 1 year of the podcast and we've written our life stories. Mm-hmm. I hope you and Alicia or Alexandra are very happy together.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. That's Clueless, man. Clueless got me.
Mm-hmm. That was what Clueless came out, yeah.
So I don't know why we're interviewing authors today, because I've already got all the answers.
We've already done it.
Well,
why do we need advice?
Yeah, why do we need advice?
We clearly need advice. Did you read my writing?
You're also
tragic.
You've missed your deadline a couple of times.
A few times. I know. I got to work on my
Don't let publishers know that you're a slacker in that way.
Unreliable. I know. Mm-hmm. Thankfully, we do have somebody to talk to who's very reliable and has great advice.
That's right.
We're so excited to have Sophie Sullivan on the podcast today, and we're excited to introduce you to her.
Today, we're talking with Sophie Sullivan, the award-winning Canadian author behind feel-good small-town romances that blend humor, heart, and a whole lot of hope. She's the creative mind behind reader favorites such as 10 Rules for Faking It and How to Love Your Neighbor, both winners of the Canadian Book Club Award for Best Romance. And her books consistently land on most anticipated lists for their charm and emotional depth. Her newest novel, Maybe This Once, takes us back to Smile, Michigan, home of the Keller family and the Get Lost Lodge, for a short story about trust, healing, and the kind of love that surprises you when you finally stop guarding your heart. Sophie is a full-time teacher, a lifelong storyteller, and a mom of grown-ish kids whose stories capture the idea that every stage of life has its own next chapter. We're so excited to have her with us today. Welcome to the show, Sophie Sullivan.
Thank you. I love that Laheim. I don't even know what that means, so that could be totally
It's back in there.
I love
I do
that
have to
intro.
hit you with the hard question first, though.
I love that intro.
You.
I love it.
Thank you.
I might need it.
Do you mind if I grill you first with
Please.
one fastball hard-hitting question?
I'm good.
Which friend is the best friend?
Rachel.
Oh,
yep.
She's a Rachel.
Yep.
Okay.
I love it. And it's consistent, right? Like I know every time you rewatch a show, like you get a new favorite, but I'm like, I just love her. And I think it's because if she had been written wrong, you would have hated her.
Agree.
Right?
Totally
but
agree.
they did such a beautiful job writing a flawed character, and she's so funny.
Yes.
So,
and the performance is so endearing. Like
yes.
she's just so cute and approachable.
And her physical comedy. Like I think that's such a great point is that it would have been so easy to hate her. Like
right from the beginning.
She is so endearing and so funny.
You want to take care of her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah,
just okay, little
right
bird.
The gate, yeah. But just the way she just makes herself vulnerable, especially with her physical comedy, like she just cracks me up.
Which you wouldn't expect from someone so. I mean, and this is a stereotype, of course, but like someone so elegant, right?
Agreed.
I mean, she truly is elegant, and she has no issue with the physical comedy, and she's so good at it. I think it's underrated.
She's extremely talented.
Good answer. Good
answer.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's all we wanted for today on the interview.
Okay.
So thank you.
Nice
thank you
to
for
see
stopping by. Everybody go get the book. We'll see you later.
But we said we were
perfect.
destined to be besties because Sophie is a huge Friends fan.
Friends fan.
Sneaks the jokes into her books, which I absolutely love. Like I that's always welcome for sure. So,
I always say if you don't watch like all these certain shows, I'm like, you will just not get me. I sound like such a weirdo if you don't like. I always send a text that has a Friends reference. I'm like, if you don't watch Friends, I'm sorry, that was awkward.
Yeah.
And then I follow it up with, I'm
you.
Chandler. I make awkward jokes when I'm uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Hi, I'm Chandler.
Well, and it should follow up too with, we'll go watch the show.
Yeah.
Like, you've done something wrong if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I felt like that though. When we started dating, he would make all these jokes and I was just like, he is so funny. He's so funny. Then one day we watched Wayne's World.
Oh no.
His whole personality had come from that movie. And I was like,
wait a second.
Oh, that's awesome. You're like, I'm dating
Milwaukee is
pretty much.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, to bring us back a little bit, welcome to our next chapter.
Thank you.
Matt and Andrea, we've been chatting a little bit. The reason we started our next chapter is because we wanted to see what it was like to have, our next chapter of our book, but also just our next chapter of life as parents of older kiddos. And so I know you've got a couple of older kiddos, so I would love to talk to you about like how that works with your creative and writing side, your grownish daughters, how it all comes together for you.
Well, first of all, we already talked about this, but I love it. I just love the concept of it. I can't imagine if I wrote a book with my husband, it would be just like football statistics or golf statistics. It would be I'd be like, okay, this is the boy she's not gonna date. Like, I love him, he's wonderful, but I don't think I could write a book. He'd have weird rhymes in there, and so this is lovely. I love that.
That's Matt's goal in life is tripping me
Absolutely.
up. Yeah,
that's awesome.
He thrives on it. Yeah.
My kids are dynamic individuals, and that sounds very biased, but it's very true. They've always made it. My whole family is my 2 children and my husband are very supportive of my writing, so it's always been something that. And I always kind of say you make time for what really matters. I don't go to the gym. I do go to Pilates now, but I used to bake instead. I would write and things like that. So it worked its way into my life. And then I have a 22-year-old. She's finished her degree and she's now in her master's for library science.
Oh, amazing.
And then I have a 19-year-old. Yeah, she's amazing. And then so I have a 19-year-old who is in her 2nd year of college, and they are both such driven individuals. My oldest daughter, so like we talked about with the younger was a little harder to write around, but I could keep her busy with cooking and stuff, so that was good. But Kaylee, when she was 12, said, I want to go to a writing conference with you, and I said, I'm not paying $300 for you to go to a writing conference at 12. Actually, this was when she was 11. I'm like, you write a book and I'll take you next year. So she wrote a book.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And here's the weird,
That's
very
amazing.
kismety part of this is when we went to the conference, she sat down with Patricia Nelson, and I didn't know if she was just being a very gracious human, but she requested the first chapters from my 12-year-old and just lit a fire under her. And it's now 10 years later, and Kaylee is repped by Patricia Nelson. So
what?
Yeah. So
what a great story.
Yeah, it's incredible. And she's got a book out. It came out last year, The Last Love Song by Kaylee Holford. And so it's a part of the culture of our family. Amy that's my younger one. She is the most avid reader. I would always try when she was, in like grade 5, 6, try to read what she was reading, make sure, I'm doing the good parenting thing and stuff. And she reads so much that I couldn't keep up. So I had to tell her when she was about grade 7, you read what you want, but the rule is if it makes you uncomfortable, stop. If you have questions, you ask me, not the internet or your friends. And she's always stuck with that. And I love that. The year before last, I think she read 250 books. Like, she's just, it's insane. Wow. And so reading and writing is just a part of who we are, very luckily, right?
Yes,
cool.
Absolutely.
It could have gone sideways.
Are they beta readers for you? Yeah, no,
yes, they are, and they're really quite honest. Like, Kaylee is like honest in a professional way. And Kaylee and I are actually writing a book together, so that's been interesting.
Awesome.
But Amy is Amy. If I need something, I should. Yes, a mother-daughter one. Amy is really good if I need something quick, because because you're writing. Sometimes you're like, this just doesn't feel right, and I need someone else to just be like, yeah, you're right, this is off. And she's good at that because she reads so widely in the genre. Yeah. So it's really helpful.
Valuable of like you said, they're so well read. They have the experience and the knowledge, but then also to have the relationship with the honesty that that they're going to be tender with your heart, but also tell you what you need to know.
And she's a reader first, right? Like, I mean, of course, my children are so lovely to me, but she is a reader first. So she'll be like, this happened in this book. So like, there's a little bit of a crossover here. Like, and her memory for that kind of stuff is excellent, right? So it's really interesting. It's
I'm sure
fun.
That's tricky because it's like there's always a reference to something and something. Well, this happened over here. This happened. It's like, I know. But
there's nothing that hasn't been redone.
Agreed.
Which I try to
100%.
take comfort in, right? And I talked to Kaylee about that too, because I mean, you must know by now, you've been in this more than a day, you are filled with self-doubt. I talked to Kaylee about that, right? Like, it might seem like the same idea, but nobody else has your voice. So you just have to tell your story.
100%. Doing it in your style is what's important. Yeah.
For sure.
Do you feel like what you've been writing changed, with the girls growing up and them becoming readers, like subject matter or characters or anything like that?
Yeah, I definitely think so. When I went to that writing conference when Kaylee was 12, that was actually when I got my first agent. It was for a picture book. And so I knew nothing about the world of publishing or that you have to be an incredibly patient person because this moves at like glacial speeds. And I think I overwhelmed my first agent, so she dropped me. Because while she was like getting ready to put me on sub, I had like emailed her with 12 other ideas. I'm like, oh, look, I wrote this and I wrote this. Can you do this? Can I do this? She's like, I'm going to have to let you go. So that was hard, but it also, like, looking back, I completely understand. She signed me for picture books, and it's just not the way publishing works. It doesn't matter if you have 300 ideas today. Like, you really need to hone it. And, so my patience has gotten better, but my interests have also changed. So at the time while I was waiting for the picture books to do something, I wrote like a teenage love story, and then I wrote a real, like, an adult one, and I just fell in love with it. And I think over time, I think our writing naturally gets better, and I think our characters develop in different ways. With as many books as I have out, I do find it a little bit tricky sometimes to make sure that I'm not just writing a stock character and adding different shoes or something, right? But I think my writing's grown, and I think especially intimacy wise, I very slowly like unfolded, like, being more comfortable with things. And I definitely wouldn't have done that when I first started. I was like, well, it has to be like this very I don't even know the right word. I don't want to say clean, because I don't know, people have weird things with that, but just, very
more
off the page. Very off the page. I was thinking of my children reading it and my coworkers reading it, and I'm a teacher, and at the start I was with my own name, right? I didn't and because I love reading it, but it wasn't my strong suit for writing it. But I do think that piece is the part that's developed the most. In my most recent work, You Make It Feel Like Christmas, there is, I mean, I would call it open door. Some people called it smutty. Anyone who reads smut would call it cute.
You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you can't,
right?
You can't write for everybody.
But for me, I know it's like I've evolved in that area, and I feel like I've done it in a way that works with who I am.
I love that. And it's definitely something we've considered as we've, all this came about because our kids were getting a little older. We found more free time, and that's kind of how this evolved. But that's something that we've struggled with and discussed of, you do think about them reading it, or parents reading it, or things like that, all the people in your life that know you or know that you're working on this thing. And so I love how that's evolved for you. And then
I don't want them to know my secret moves, really, is what it is.
We're not writing that into the
but that's what you think, right? Like, when you start writing a kiss scene together, and you're like, is that what he thinks? Should I try this instead? People always tease me because my husband he's so proud of everything, and we'll go out, Kaylee and I will go out and we'll like out each other. I'm like, oh, but she's an author, and then I'll walk away so that if she says I am too, I don't have to talk about it. I did it to her yesterday, right?
That's
but people,
a funny game.
Yeah, people know they know that I do this, and my husband, they tease him. They're like, oh, that's a pretty good book hero, and I'm like, it is so not him.
I love it.
I'm trying to get it to be him, but it's not him.
Yeah, it's not. I keep telling him to read them.
Yeah, exactly.
We strongly believe in that. We
talk about that a lot.
We think guys we're like, everybody should be reading romance.
I just don't understand any of these guys complaining about not knowing women or anything like that. I'm like, go read one of these books.
One book.
Just go pick up one. Yeah. And you'll go, oh, I see.
And people in general, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just thinking it's interesting how it's changed our communication and conversations because of these books. But I'm sorry.
Well, no, just people underestimate romance. And when you guys were talking, I don't know if it was on camera or off, but you were talking about how like you layer in the anxiety and things like that. And to me, that's a skill. That's not easy to weave in serious anxiety and laughter. Right? Like I never actually laughed through a panic attack. So it's not that funny. But there are ways, and there's so many romance books, and anxiety is just an example, but there are so many romance books that weave big, huge life topics into the humor.
Stuff.
And I don't think there's anything more indicative of how we live our lives. I lost my mom 6 months ago, and it's been horrible and life-changing. Thank you. But the thing is, even with that, there are moments in the last 6 months of like just belly laughter, and you feel a little bit guilty, but it's like, this is what life is. It's, one day you're crying and the next minute you're laughing and the next minute something so silly and you're giggling about it with your family. Nobody else gets it. And that's what romance books are,
so real.
Right?
That's
like it is so real.
That's such a great comparison. And that's just life, is just knowing, like you said, is when you're in the deepest parts of the grief, that is not permanent, that's temporary, and allow yourself to feel those feelings, because in a few minutes you might be having those belly laughs, and then you want to enjoy those and feel those feelings, because that's not permanent either.
And I don't think anything does it better than romance, right? Like you guys talked about Abby Jimenez and like real life issues and humor. Like that's what you need to get through it. So
I mean, that's life.
And I just love how you've incorporated that. I know in 10 Rules for Faking It, you said that you feel most connected to Everly, right? The lead female character, and she struggled with anxiety and things like that. And just that, I know we'll talk a little later about genres and things, but trying to differentiate between women's lit or, women's fiction or chick lit, as it used to be called. And then what is rom-com now, and how many books and authors like yourself are including these real life, struggles with the laughter, because that is so real. It's not just one thing. And I think that's bringing a lot of healing to people, when you incorporate things like this in your
You
books.
feel connected and you feel lighter, right? Like,
absolutely.
Sad stuff happens to everybody. You don't believe that when you're in it, but when you read those books, you're like, someone else has been dumped or had bad things happen.
And the world keeps turning as much
does.
as it just
I know.
blows your mind. How are people still functioning when I'm struggling in this chapter or this grief or whatever is happening? But
very true.
I think that's a lot of that human connection.
I did have a question. You mentioned earlier about writing under your name and then changing to Sophie Sullivan. I would love to hear that story of how that kind of came about and how you picked the name, the whole thing.
It's so funny because I had written so many books, and I had moderate success that I was thrilled and happy with. I did a couple very, very small publishers that aren't even around anymore, and that was all under my own name. And then I hit kind of a point where I was like, oh, am I going to be able to keep writing? Because nobody seemed to want things. I'd written all these. Entangled didn't want the third in a 2-book series, and I was like, okay, what's going to happen now? And my agent suggested that I just try writing something from the heart. And so I did, and she's just like, you know what, this is really good. I'm going to send it out. And so she did, and then Alexandra C. Helster from Macmillan fell in love with it. They offered on it, and the only thing they like in the offer email, she was like, so there's one little piece that we're a little bit concerned about, and that is we want to give you the best chance possible, and that would be best. If you were a debut author, of course, you can't undo all this, the things you've done.
Yeah.
So we think you should have a pen name, and we wondered how you'd feel about that. And I was like, all I want is to write. So I don't care, what you call me.
Whatever that path is. Yeah.
Call me whatever you want.
Yeah, someone read the book. I should have called myself James Patterson, then everybody would
there
read
you
it.
They pick it up immediately.
Yeah, with like one letter differently. Right?
Just one T.
Stephanie King.
Yeah. So I tried really hard. So then it was like this. I didn't think about it logically enough at the time. At the time, I was just like, I want something that encompasses my daughters, and I could not come up with something. And other authors, when I've talked to them, they've been like, oh yeah, you should have thought about where will you be on the shelves and stuff. Like S is like right by the floor. I didn't even think of it. I ended up going with 2 Drew Barrymore characters from movies that I love, from Wedding Singer and from Music and Lyrics. So Sophie and Sullivan. And so that's where it came from. And then they were able to say debut rom-com author Sophie Sullivan.
Yeah.
So
that's an amazing story. And like you said, it's the path forward to writing and getting to do what you love. And
absolutely.
You find you bring your audience along, but then also find new readers.
Yeah. It's been amazing. It is. Yeah. It's a very, when you're looking at like a picture in a picture, it's kind of that sort of feeling, because the Jodie Holford, I had started 2 Instagrams and things like that, and Jodie gets very little attention, and Sophie's like her popular twin sister. Like, it's so weird.
I've seen you describe it as your alter ego, and I'm wondering, like, is there a personality to it when you're
there? I didn't mean for there to be, and I'm so transparent. Like, if I'm upset, I'm upset. If I'm I can't even pretend like one of us is more sophisticated or anything, right? Like, I'm just literally like, okay, 2 likes on this post and 200 on this. I'm like, I'm the same person, you guys.
Yeah.
So
guess what?
Amazing.
But it's just weird, right?
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I am interested. You talked about, you've had great success, publishing deals here and there, this and that. What does success look like now for you? Like how we always talk about like reaching the top of the mountain and going, okay, I did it. I'm here. But like, what does that look like to you? What's the next phase for you?
It's an interesting thing, the word success, and it's kind of a dangerous thing. And one thing that I would recommend, and I do recommend to authors now, is in your very, very early days, write that down. Because at first it was success would be finishing a book. Success would be getting an agent. Can you imagine? Success would be getting any publishing house. Can you imagine that? But what I do find is every time that I reached that level of success, I was super happy. And then what? Right? My immediate thing is what's next? And now with Sophie, because it's opened up so many doors, and like you mentioned the lists, my book gets put on these lists for most anticipated. That was such a huge thing for me. Like, I could never imagine a Jodie book on that list, any of those lists. And so now it's happened several times, and it's amazing every time, even though I don't think they're not fate deciders or anything, but it's just a nice feeling. But now I notice when I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm on this list, but I didn't get on that one. It's like, no, hold on. Like, so I have to be really cognizant of that. And I'm trying to remember that.
It's tough.
Because success is, I think, getting to do something you love and having an outlet for it. And people read my books, and that's amazing. And they connect with it, which is even more amazing.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Would I like them to become movies? Yeah. I really, really would.
Yeah, exactly.
But
you wouldn't turn it down?
Yeah. But you guys, I think, found me organically. And that's success, right? And that's not the first time that's happened. And to me, it's like, okay, I went from my mom reading my stories and my best friend being like, no, this is pretty good, to like someone found me organically through a story that I wrote. And that is, I have to remind myself, that's the truest form of success, right?
Yeah.
I love that.
And I love how you touched on just like doing it for yourself and the fact that you enjoyed it so much and that you have pursued it through hardships, through, times of grieving, through times when it looked like there wasn't a next step. And because you loved it so much, it's like you continued to find it. We went to a show this week. It was a concert where the performer, he quoted a British comedian who made a comment about that, that like life and the enjoyment of life is not necessarily found in the pursuit of happiness, but in the happiness of pursuit. I think it was a comedian named Carr was the last name, but I don't want to misquote it or attribute it to the wrong person.
No, but the joy of it, right? The joy of reaching for something that you love it.
The pursuit itself. And like you said, so many times you get to that milestone and then your brain immediately wants to say what's next. But it's like, no, I was having so much fun. I was really joyful in the process and on the journey. And I think that's something that like I'm learning myself as a woman in my 40s now and things like that is just enjoying the journey, enjoying the pursuit.
And it matters.
On the creative side.
It matters, right? Like the journey matters. And if it's not bringing you joy, then there's something wrong with it, right? Like you're doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's exactly what I was going to say. That's why this podcast exists. Yeah. And you know, I've told you if we're not having fun doing the podcast, then we're just not going to do it. Like, we don't have to do this.
Yeah.
But as long as we can do it and have fun and enjoy the process, that is success to me.
And I think that's what's interesting. We started saying, "Oh, let's document the process of writing this book," but then we were just having fun playing games and talking about authors we love, and then now we're like, this would have been a whiteboard thing to be interviewing an author we love, and we're doing it, and it's like this is amazing, and I love just being in the moment of just being in awe of where this has gone and just how much I enjoy it, having these conversations, building these friendships and relationships and learning from your, process and advice. And it's
and
so
remind
powerful.
yourself
it's
of that,
changed.
right? Because there are, and it's a tough industry, especially right now. And I feel like I said that even when I started, especially right now. The world is tough. It was then too. So you have to remind yourself of that. Like I got to chat, like you guys are adorable and lovely and remind me of me and my husband. Like that's such a nice piece to my day, right? Like, and I got the chance to go on Global News, which is a local thing, which was like absolutely huge to me. That was one of my big things.
Yes.
And it didn't make me a USA Today bestseller, oddly enough. I don't know why.
Right.
But that was my first, people go on these things and then all these things blow up. But I was like, but I made a genuine connection. And that woman who emailed me, she actually emailed, she didn't read You Make It Feel Like Christmas right away because she's a seasonal reader. But she read Can't Help Falling in Love. And she emailed me 3 weeks after the show, and she was like, I just wanted to tell you that I loved this book. It was so good. I was like, you know what? Nope, not a bestseller, but how amazing is that you took the time to do that? And she's like, oh, and I told my friends about your books. I was like, thank you. That's
that's it, right?
Yes, if you can bring at least one or two people joy, it's like that's.
Yeah.
I'm getting joy from doing it. And I hope somebody else enjoys it.
Yeah.
And I do want to talk about the book coming out February 10th.
Have it.
Maybe. She's got it.
It's so beautiful.
There it is.
I
beautiful.
love the cover.
Maybe this once. Yes.
I actually
really
called my editor when I got the cover in my inbox, and I think she was like, hi. I called on the phone, and I'm like, hi, Alex. I need to tell you that it's absolute perfection, and I don't even believe it's my cover. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so glad you like it, but it's just magical. I just love it.
And that it is, and that's just another moment of joy for you. Another just thing to be so grateful and thankful for. And it's gorgeous. So to highlight it a little bit, maybe this once, out February 10th, is the third book in the Rock Bottom Love series, and it's following the Keller family who own the Get Lost Lodge, and this one is following. Oh, okay. I need merch. I need the merch.
So Literature Stitches made this and One for Love Naturally, and it's so fun.
That's amazing. Yeah, we gotta get that. I love it. I'm ready to go book a stay at Get Lost Lodge. But so this is following Charlie and Grayson is one of the Keller families, one of the brothers of the family, and helps run the lodge, right?
Yes. He does. Sorry.
Yeah. So
he actually owns the lodge. He got it in a divorce. So.
Yes, that's. I love that. I love that. Your main male character is a divorcee and healing, going through his own chapter of grieving and trying to move forward. And then Charlie pops up in his life, and she's trying to flee from her own family situation of the famous parents and things, and a video gone viral that kind of detoured the plans, and so she pops up, and so I'd love to hear you talk a little bit about just this book and how it came about being the third in the installment. I know there's a big focus on trust for both of these main characters, and so again, touching back on these real life things. They've been through some stuff. They are showing up with baggage. They are showing up as they are and trying to be their authentic self. Yes, exactly. And I think just trying to put out there, hey, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I don't want. So if you'll talk a little bit about that and this theme of trust and maybe this once.
Yeah. Well, so to begin with, it's funny when I do a series because my agent told me years ago, always write in 3. So I always think that way anyway. But with 10 Rules for Faking It, I loved writing like siblings and watching each of them fall. And so when I wrote Love Naturally, it was like right away, I was like, okay, he's got a sister and a brother. And, so I knew Grayson was coming, and it's always a little bit of a strange thing to watch because as you guys know, the characters kind of unfold themselves. Right? And someone once told me that all your secondary characters are there to help the reader get to know your primary character, which is so interesting once you get to the fact that they are now the main character. So who have they become? You kind of have to go with, you have to think ahead about that because people wanted Grayson's story by the time, now that it's not here, I guess, but people are starting to read it now. And they were looking forward to that because whatever they saw in the first 2 books, they wanted for him, and they want him to have his happily ever after. So I always knew it would be him that would end the series. He's the oldest of them, and the one who was trying to get his life together. And so when I try to do things like this, then like I said, I need to make sure that I'm not just writing a stock character. And Grayson needed someone special. He's really content. He's been through a lot, and now he knows that, okay, marriage and all of those things didn't make my life perfect. So now I'm going to be happy. I love my niece. I love my siblings. I love this place, even though I got it in a bad way. And so I love that he was perfectly content with what he had, and then Charlie just kind of knocks him off his feet, right? And Charlie you're right, she has so many trust issues because of what's happened, but also because she grew up in a way that she was exposed to a lifestyle that, I mean, her parents loved her, her family absolutely adore her, but she didn't choose to be in the spotlight in the ways that she was. And so she craved, and I think that's a really interesting thing that we deal with. And if you want the truth about her, I don't actually follow. I never watched the Osbournes, the show.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But I was fascinated with them because I love People magazine and I love reading about people. And I was fascinated because their daughter, Amy, which is my daughter's name, she chose not to be in the show. And so you've got the rest of the family thriving on this show, creating a reality TV buzz. And she actually moved out of her house at 16. Her family loves her. She was pretty young. Yeah. And they love her and she loves them. And so it was just this fascinating thing for me that, I love you guys, but this is not the path I choose for myself.
Right.
And so that's what,
that support of that choice.
Yeah. So that's kind of where Charlie came from, that idea that, okay, what would she choose for herself? And it's funny that you're a counselor. I thought it would be really cool that because she's so thoughtful and she's so specific about the choices she makes. And so to have her life blown up for something that is really not her choice. Right. At a moment where she was just caught being human. I felt like, and so, so I think that's where they both came from. And they get together and they just bring out this lightness in each other. And then they kind of have the question, can you trust someone just for a little while? And not fall.
I love that.
Right?
And not fall.
Well, and the guardedness of both of them are protecting their hearts. I think they're deeply empathetic. And so to try to protect themselves in that way, but then to see someone and go, oh no.
And I guess that's one of my questions is, we've talked a lot about with our characters, maybe that the male had a divorce or is widowed or like has baggage, but has done the work, you know, to have a more evolved view,
emotionally
right?
intelligent.
And,
we are going to write an emotionally intelligent
and that's the idea.
Yes.
It matters.
And while I'm sure the answer is emotionally intelligent equals swoon-worthy, how do you make both kind of work in the same
I think,
character, I guess?
honestly, what works is we joked earlier that, you know, my husband is not these romance heroes, but we know a lot of good men, like really good men, and they would do anything for their wives, and they would do anything for their children. And I think that that's authentic. We are lucky enough to be surrounded by people that they've had hardships and they've had hard knocks, and it's like, okay, what can I do to get better? And I mean, naturally, I am a teacher, so we actually have to go to professional workshops to better our practice and things like that. But when you're in a professional sphere where you actually have to say, okay, I need to improve in this area of my profession, I think sometimes, if you're lucky, that transfers over to your life, right? And as a person who is always willing to say, what could I have done better? And that's kind of how we raised our kids. It was, I get that she pushed you down and she was awful and she did this, and I get this is horrible and not okay, but what could you have done? What control did you have in that moment? And so that I feel like the connection to my characters is because they're genuine humans, right? Like they're real people who screw up and are willing to say, I screwed up.
I did want to ask a little bit about the decision to make it a dual POV, and just how you go about writing those characters. We've talked about
it back.
Is he going to write the whole thing and then I come behind and kind of read, edit, discuss, or are we each writing a POV? You know, just with you as the sole owner of their minds. Yeah,
it's so interesting because I don't know how to do it otherwise. I actually, and it's funny because, like I said, I'm doing a book with my daughter, and so it's a mother-daughter point of view, but I've always written in third person and she writes in first person. I'm like, well, you're younger, so it's easier for you to adapt.
You have to change.
Well,
like my brain is set.
You're pulling rank.
But it's interesting, right? Because for her, it's so out of her sphere. I mean, she's doing a beautiful job, but it's not the norm for her to write in third person. And for me, I try to think of these stories. Well, first of all, it's Grayson, right? So I think I would feel weird writing a book only from the male's point of view. And I think what allows it to be okay is that there is another point of view. It's the female point of view. But again, I just, it's very interesting because I know how he feels. And so I just try to write that from that perspective, but throw in a couple of F words.
Right. Right. Yeah.
I mean, Matt swears easier than me.
Evolve.
Yeah. And so,
for sure. And I think, seeing him grow and go through what he has and then finally get the chance. It's like, I think, like you said, it is so important to tell both sides and for the reader to get to be in both of their headspaces and know where they're
creates tension points too, right?
Well, and it lets you forgive them too, right? Like when he does something really stupid in one chapter, you're like, I hate this guy. In the next chapter, you're like, oh, I did something stupid. And you're like, oh, good, he knows it. But it's interesting. You guys have been married for a long time like me, so it's also, it's not, I'm not describing my husband, but I've interacted a lot with, a significant other. And so I think you have that. And it would be, are you guys doing a female point of view or not sure yet? Or are you doing both?
We'll have both. No,
it's going to be both. It's going to be a hybrid. It's going to be really interesting. We've got some interesting thoughts around starting with her POV and then, to kind of pull the curtain back, it's a little bit about the main our main lady has a sister who's kind of like a Miss Rachel character who does like a kid show on stage. And so like chapter 1 is going to be about her POV and kind of setting her up a little bit and what's going on in like this traveling show. And then I think I want to switch to a POV of telling a backstory, like she's on stage, like her sister is on stage. So it's going to be more third person about her stage story, but it's an allegory for their actual history
of what's happening,
of what's happened to them. So it's going to be kind of a mix. It's evolving.
It will incorporate
and that's what you do. It's so funny because I write quickly and people are always like, oh, you write so fast. Yeah, but then I have to overhaul right? Like so it doesn't really matter what your process is. At some point, you're really going to have to dig in and decide, okay, which parts of this really work.
100%.
Do you feel like with the dual POV, does it make you create or like make you treat the characters more gently when you're getting to be in both of their headspaces?
Yeah. It's why I've struggled with, if you've ever read How to Love Your Neighbor, I'm not great at true like enemies to lovers because you're in both of their minds. So it's like, well, that was really mean, right? Whereas if you're not thinking about the guy's point of view, and you're just, I mean, I'm not a mean person, but I know I've said snappy, rude things to my husband, right? Like I had a reason, but if you're not seeing the other point of view, then you're like, you're with me, the hero, okay, well, she's feeling like this. He's making her feel like this. So it's a different, it's a weird balance, but I don't know anything different. Though I should try.
Get to be the villain victim or whatever. But that's what we've talked about, how it's, our conversation and communication has evolved because of reading these books. Because I feel like even for me, I know a lot of times it's women that are writing these men, but I can put myself in his headspace a little easier of how did he perceive that? Was he trying to hurt my feelings? Did he just want to make me mad?
The answer is always no, Andrea. I'm never trying to hurt your feelings, okay?
Sometimes my brain tells me otherwise, but these books help me to believe that you're not just trying to upset me.
Yes, and that's
I know my actions and words always feel that way.
Yeah, when you put your socks next to the laundry basket,
I'm
just kidding.
This is so stereotypical, but I am the husband in the relationship, so Matt does all the laundry, all the cooking, all the like it's so non-true, like what used to be traditional.
What's your secret? I love it.
I write. And he's so supportive of it, right?
I was gonna say you are busy.
You're busy.
And I just love his support of that. I mean, I feel
wonderful.
We've set aside gender norms. It's just like, and it ebbs and flows. It's what do you need right now? How can I, be your support? What can I take off your plate, and vice versa. We even talk with our boys about being a good roommate. Look, we all just live in this house together. Like if he empties the dishwasher, he's not doing that for me.
No,
like there's just dishes that we've created that need to be put away. And so, nothing is one person's job or whatever, but I love too how these books help evolve those
Definitely.
And I think it's just about being a kind. I have a sign outside of my classroom door right now, and it says I'm in my be a good human era, right? Because that's all it's about is trying to see something. And I feel I'm a little worried because I feel like that's becoming less and less important to some people. And so for me, it just gets more important, right? So I think that also in having a relationship where, like you said, well, that hurt my feelings. Was he trying to hurt my feelings? Having someone in a long relationship, you can discuss those things. And after you get through the arguing part, you're like, well, this is what I thought you meant. And so that also helps with the dual point of view, right? Because sometimes he justifies himself. And I'm like, how do you think like that? Like,
we just had an argument like that recently. Like, can you explain your thinking?
Tell me again what you said.
Like, what happened in there?
How did you get from A to B there? Help me.
Like, what? Like, what kind of weird road did you just travel there?
I love it. I love it. That's so great. And I love, too, having that sign outside your classroom of just focusing on that piece. And, like you said earlier, with you grieving your mother and the things that you've been through is like, we don't know what people are carrying. We can't see it when we look at them. And so as these kids coming in and out of your classroom every day, or as you're meeting readers when you're at events, or just reaching them through your writing, it's like, it just helps lighten the load to just be a good human and come alongside somebody and just, to feel you're not alone. You have people around you we're just all trying to do our best and get it as right as we can and take care of each other. And thank you.
I don't know if that perspective comes with being in your 40s, but it does, right? And even the idea of just finding the little moments of happiness, right?
Yes. And because like you said, the world, it's those, you have to look for those moments. You have to
find those moments,
practice gratitude and seek joy. And, our media, everything wants to point us in the other direction. And so we've even talked about in our relationship, how when we were younger, we felt like when we fought, we wanted to be right. We thought that the point of fighting was to be right and make them understand you, or, it was to win. And now every time if we're disagreeing about something, I'm like, I don't want to be fighting with you. I want to find a way forward.
Yep.
Like, help me
Yep.
understand
What
where
do you
you're
need?
coming from. Let's find the fix. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
What are we actually fighting about?
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
now I feel like instead of getting dopamine from the fight itself, like we did when we were in our teens or 20s, now it's like I feel so much better when we've discussed something and we've been open and we've found the way forward. And whether that's in our relationship or a friendship or a work
But I always
relationship.
win.
Yes.
That's the real.
But you're always
takeaway
right.
here.
Yes.
Just
I'm always
ask
right.
her.
Always right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
yeah.
Correct.
But I
No
think that'll
problem.
transfer
Yes,
over to your writing. Like I think when I'm writing Dual Point of View, maybe it comes more naturally because I have that, right? And also that growth. Like I think that the men I'm writing in my Dual Point of View now are far more emotionally intelligent than maybe they were 10 years ago, right? Because your
Oh, that's
writing
interesting.
evolves, my relationships have evolved, I've been through more. So I think I think where you are in your life definitely impacts what's happening too.
That's
I
powerful.
love that.
I love it. Well, if we want to transition to our game.
Yeah, do you want to play a game?
I do.
Yeah.
We've got
really
a fun
do.
game for
Thanks
you
for
today.
being game to play the game.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thanks
I'm very
for being game. I
excited.
like that. So we're going to play a game, and both of you get to kind of chime in with this. And it's called Check In or Check Out.
Which is awesome.
And so in honor of your new book being set at the Get Lost Lodge, we thought we would kind of set up a couple of scenarios where you step into a lodge or hotel and you see a scenario, and then you get to decide if you're checking in and staying in the hotel in the scenario, or you're checking out and making a run for it. So you'll find that a lot of these are based on common romance tropes. That's kind of the...
I do know that she said she is not a camper. This is where we are bonded for life here.
Yeah.
She's not a camper. She said, I want to be able to go home to my own shower. I
my
don't like bugs. And I'm like, we should go should go glamping
camping.
together. Yes.
Yeah.
Camping in air quotes. Yes.
Glamping at a 5-star hotel.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. With hot cocoa.
He keeps wanting to take our boys camping, and there's this like state park, and my mom lives like a mile around the corner. And I said, I'll go sit with you guys during the day, help you set up, or whatever. And then I'm going to drive to my mom's and stay the night, take a shower, and sleep in the guest bed.
And not wake up with weird bites on me.
No, thank you. I was like, you guys have fun with that. So yeah, all right.
Well, I was hoping that you'd stay in my tent, and I would wake up with weird bites on me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Just put your tent in the hotel room. See?
I was going to say, if you want to bring the
best
tent
of both
to the
worlds.
5-star resort. Yes.
And there's air conditioning.
See, compromise. This is what happens in your 40s.
That's right.
You learn to compromise.
That's right.
All right. Check in and check out.
Check in, check out. Here is scenario 1. It's called the Honeymoon Holdover Hotel.
Oh,
nice.
That's what it's called.
Okay.
You arrive at a seaside resort only to find your room already decorated for a honeymoon package. That means rose petals, you've got champagne, the works, that kind of thing. The staff apologizes, but says they can't refund you until the happy couple stays the weekend. Your spouse is a cute stranger who just muttered, well, I could use a free breakfast.
So you show up and there's a stranger that you have to stay with in a honeymoon suite.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, someone's going to write that story because that's fantastic.
See? Little setup.
Yeah.
And they just a little forced proximity action.
Yes.
You know?
Oh my goodness. But he's there for the free breakfast?
Well, he's there to kind of check in, but he's like, if they're going to give us free food, we can be
pretend.
a couple.
Yeah, are you checking in?
I'm checking in hard on that one. I mean, if he's just cute, like doesn't look like a serial killer, which I don't know what that looks like, but
yeah, right. Can you describe a serial killer?
He's got a name tag.
You are suddenly my husband, not a serial killer. That's they wouldn't say it if they were.
I mean,
that's true. If you're a cop, you got to tell me.
It's an amazing suite. That's the rule.
That's the rule.
If it's an amazing suite, there's free food and champagne. Can't be refunded. I mean, I'm gonna try it at least until there's some major red flag. Yeah, I agree.
So I'm gonna write check in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check in.
Checked into that one.
That's fantastic.
Okay. And she might write this one next. Put that on your list. Pitch that as the next book. It's all your.
There you go.
All right.
Let's go. Number 2. You walk in just as the staff starts filming a tourism commercial, and they need a stand-in couple right now. The man next to you sighs but agrees, putting his arm around you like he's done it 100 times. The director yells, "Action!" And suddenly he's whispering, "You're actually doing great." That's a pretty forward one.
Why is this guy creepy, but my not a serial killer wasn't? Right?
See?
That's fine.
Yeah, see? Maybe that's
Just
it.
the vibes.
Maybe it just feels
One
more
of the
creepy.
waffles.
Maybe it's too much.
I think it was the
arm.
the touching without consent.
Yeah.
Did that bother you too?
Yeah. I was like, well, hold
wow,
on.
that was fast.
Yeah, I'm checking out.
And I haven't heard like what great prize.
Yeah, and
great
what am I
prize
getting? Am I getting
like,
paid?
Yeah.
And
No, I heard champagne and
Yeah.
flowers and
Yeah.
food in the
Okay.
last
No,
one.
check
and a
out.
great oceanside suite.
I'm checking out on that one. It's a little too
I'm
forward.
pushing his
Agree.
arm off
Okay.
me and
Too
saying, "You're on
much.
your
Yeah,
own,
as soon as I
buddy."
felt that arm
Yeah.
go around,
Yeah.
I said, "Oh no."
You
Maybe
don't
we can
need
role
me.
play that one though. You know what I mean?
Just to see how it works
Right.
out.
Just to
Right?
see how it works.
Just
We'll
to see
try
how
it.
you can make it work.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Creeper.
You need some
All
incentive.
right, number 3 here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What's my prize package?
Don't say you.
Behind the curtain.
Don't say you.
Yeah. Oh, did you say prize packet?
And now,
Okay.
now the soundtrack for Wood is going to come through.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
immediately.
in.
Don't have to knock on wood.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay,
Hey, maybe
okay.
I'm checking in
This
now.
one's gonna be okay. Now she's interested.
Does he look like
Yeah.
Travis Kelce?
Yeah.
You can tell you're Matt. That's the
There
play.
you
Yeah,
go. That's the
exactly.
play.
Okay, I've got another one. Here we go. It's marketed as a mindfulness getaway, yoga, clean eating, that kind of thing. But breakfast is a green juice called forgiveness. Your phone gets locked away at check-in, and the retreat leader keeps referring to herself as Mother Fern. Everyone keeps smiling a little too much and not blinking enough.
Not blinking. This
Which is
sounds very
creepy.
White Lotus. Have you watched White Lotus?
We watched the
most
first 2
recent
episodes,
season?
and I was like, I don't want to watch anymore. And then I found myself thinking about it, and I was like, how genius are they? Because it like infiltrated my brain. I was like,
Mhm.
Matt, what was that weird show that we watched? She's like, White Lotus. You
Mhm.
said you didn't like it. I'm like, I feel like we have to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's drawing
Yeah.
me in.
Throwing you back
Yeah.
in.
It feels like Mother Fern here. Come back to the...
Although, you know
the
what? I
group.
gotta say, I love yoga. I love Pilates. I love the idea
yes.
of a retreat. But as soon as, like, I want my Diet Pepsi in the morning. So you're not getting that away from me. Certainly not
Yeah.
with a drink called forgiveness.
Like, what
Some
am I
green juice.
forgiving?
You
What
don't
am
want
I-
green juice? Okay.
Yeah. Well, and
Who knows?
taking my phone away, that's
Yeah.
what brought up
Yeah.
White Lotus for me,
Yeah.
is them having to put
Yeah.
their phones in the bag. I'm like,
Yeah, what's happening here?
I like to decompress and disconnect, but I always want to have access
Yeah.
to my phone.
And you know what happens
Okay.
next in that little scenario is the creeper from the
Mm.
the second one wanders in to do some yoga with
He
you, and you're
wanders
like,
in.
what
He
is
sure
going
does.
on?
And he puts his arm around
yeah,
you.
he
Yeah.
comes back in.
You're
You're
like,
like,
Fern?
You know that
Fern,
commercial
I'm
we were
out.
in before? Yeah.
I need my phone.
That's absolutely who walks in. Nope, and I'm still checking
Fern.
out. Yeah,
Bye, Fern.
Oh
he
my
is Mother
goodness.
Fern.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
yes.
It's one long
Yes.
story we're telling
Yeah.
you. all of a sudden.
It's the same universe.
Different chapters.
Okay, I think I've got maybe 2 more.
Okay.
Something like that. Here we go. I put check out on that one. So we
Yeah,
checked
check out.
I'm checking
Yeah.
out. And you
Okay.
Yeah.
checking out. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not even going
We'll leave
across
together.
the threshold.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
No, we'll go get the diet.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You walk in and the place smells like cookies. And your welcome note is signed by your ex's mom, who apparently never got the breakup memo. She even booked you the good room right next to her son's. He's surprised to see you, but he's still wearing the sweater you bought him.
Oh.
Mm.
Sounds like he
These
still
are
has
adorable. First of all, that's what that needs to be Christmas. And I'm checking
Yeah,
in.
make it Christmas.
That is
Yeah,
Okay.
adorable.
Same. Well, and I
setup.
mean, everyone wants an amazing mother-in-law. Like,
And
if
the
she just doesn't
cookies.
even. Yeah,
Right?
I mean, there's clearly some
cookies.
family stuff to work out.
So as long as I
but,
work
like,
in champagne and cookies, you guys are
Yeah,
checking in.
yeah,
so
pretty
far.
much.
That's all,
in.
so far, that's all I
Yeah.
need.
Just
There's
feed
There's
me.
champagne cookies and the guy
Yeah.
wraps his arm
Yeah.
around you.
No.
That's a 50-50.
Yeah.
That's
No.
yeah.
See, it's funny. I wonder if
Just
it's because
depends.
you're a teacher, because there's like a running joke around amongst our staff that if you actually want us to buy into anything, where is the food? Right?
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely.
So, and again, not a
Yes.
forgiveness
I think
smoothie.
that's
I'm
the truth
talking
everywhere.
cookies and brownies.
You don't want
Yeah.
green juice?
We need to be
No.
specific about what we
Yeah.
need. Yeah. No, I have a boss who his whole thing as a leader is time, money, food. He's like,
Yep.
I'm either going to try to give you time, money, or food. Like whatever he
That's
can do,
all you
whatever's
want
within
out
his
of life.
power.
Yeah.
That's what he focuses on.
That's a good
No,
leader.
I just love that, like, even if she didn't know the breakup, which I'm like, okay, what's
Yeah.
going on with her and her son?
Yeah.
There's clearly some stuff to work
Yeah.
out, but she booked a suite for you. She
Yeah.
had cookies. Like,
She wanted
I
you
mean,
to be
who
happy.
doesn't want to be part of that family?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
It
right.
didn't
We
sound
like
like
that
it was
one.
anything
No.
super traumatic.
No,
He just,
I
you
like
know,
it.
Okay. I'm putting a check next to that one for check-in.
Yes, especially if they're warm cookies.
Oh, yes, and chocolate chip.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Number 5 here. The place is breathtaking.
Oh,
You've got vaulted ceilings and candles and endless wine. There's your food. Thank you.
Yeah.
But there's a locked wing no one will talk about. The concierge slips you a second key and whispers, "It only works after midnight." Then the piano starts playing by itself right as the lights flicker.
The concierge is that same man.
It is the same guy.
It's the same.
He's been crossed.
He
This is all the
slips
same
his
world.
arm
He brought your
around you
forgiveness juice.
And he's like, "It only works after midnight."
No. You know what?
I'm
Cozy
Okay.
mystery, cozy romance. I could be intrigued until the concierge came and slipped me the key. Then I'm like, no, I'm
Slipped
out.
you a second key?
Yeah, no.
She was like,
Okay.
the flickering
I'm
lights.
out.
of the
Flickering lights?
piano
Let
No?
me
are
let me
like,
introduce you
no.
to Fern.
Well, my anxiety does enough on its own. It's like I don't
Right?
need to go pay to
Yes.
stay at a
Stay at a
place that's
haunted
going to do
hotel.
that to me. Like, no, thank
Like
you.
the worst
My brain
words
can invent
that
these.
you can say
yeah.
to someone with anxiety is,
Mm.
"I'll tell you later."
Oh,
like-
right?
Oh, yeah.
No, you'll tell me
That's a bad
now.
one.
If there's
Exactly.
anything to tell me or
Yes.
show me, it has to be right this
This-
minute.
It has to be
This
now.
minute,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, there's
right.
no-
Otherwise, I'm going to think you're mad at me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
You hate me.
You are mad at me. I went to show
You
my.
are mad at me. Why are you mad at me?
But have you guys? Do you watch Elise Myers on Instagram?
Yes.
She's amazing.
Love her.
So
Yes.
years,
Love
like
her.
right when she first started, my best friend sent me this. She's like, just keep this on repeat. And it was her little clip of saying, "Nobody's mad at you." So last night,
Yeah.
I've played it so many times for my girls who also have
Yeah.
anxiety that last night, Kaylee she just went through a breakup. She's doing wonderfully. She's
Yeah.
okay. But she said something about, is it okay if I do this? I'm like, listen. And I went to show her something. She's like, "Oh my God, Mom, I know nobody's mad at me." I'm like,
I love it.
listen, it's something new.
Mhm.
Right?
And nobody's
Yeah,
mad at
and
you.
nobody's
no one's
mad
mad
at
at
you,
you.
right?
I love that. That just needs to be like my ringtone
Yes,
on my
yes.
phone or like my
Yes, it
text
does.
notification. No one's mad at
No
you.
one's mad at
Because
you.
you like pick it up
Yes,
so fast.
yes.
Oh, am I in trouble?
And
I
if
need
it
a
actually
positive sound and a
rings-
negative
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah.
If it
Ooh,
actually
that's a good
rings, you're like,
idea.
"Oh my God, who's dead?"
That's good.
Like
Oh,
it's just
somebody's
it's
dead.
awful if
Every
somebody
time.
if
Why
it
is
actually
someone
rings,
calling me?
right? Or they wait
yeah.
12
Agree,
seconds to
agree.
reply.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you can,
No,
I
no.
love that
No,
you both.
No, I've already created a whole story in my head. Like,
No,
Yeah.
thanks.
no, that's why he loves movies, and I won't go see horror movies with him. Because I was
No.
like, my brain is already so good at
Yeah,
worst case scenario.
no.
I do not need
They
to
make me
pay.
laugh.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
They
there's
do
no
not make me
laughing.
laugh.
Do you ever look at him?
No,
And this is
no
what I do to
laughter.
my Matt. I'm like, I don't understand how your brain works because you didn't come up with any worst case scenarios. And when you say you're thinking about nothing, there's actually nothing in there. You're like focused
it
on
blows
the
my mind.
TV and just
Yeah.
like
I
what
know.
happened. You know what happened in the TV show because you were paying attention and not thinking about
Mhm.
what's going to happen next in our
Mhm.
life.
Agree.
It's
Yeah.
bizarre to me.
I'm just,
Mhm.
I'm like, what would it be like
Yeah,
to live in that
right?
brain?
Just
I
for an
just-
hour.
Nothing.
You would be so well
Yeah.
rested.
Yeah.
Like,
Truly.
you would be so well rested.
Like I just feel recharged.
Yeah.
It was such
That's
a respite
Yeah.
from
that
all
is.
the-
It's funny you mentioned the worst case scenario because that is something we laugh about.
Yeah.
We talk about all the time.
Yeah.
Is we'll be talking about something and she's like, "Well,
What if?
well, what if?
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
comet falls from
Yeah.
the sky
Yeah.
and hits this."
Yeah.
And my response every single time is,
What if it
"That
does?
is the worst case
That-
scenario."
yes. And you
That's all I
didn't
say.
think of
That
it.
is the worst case scenario.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
what is
Yeah,
wrong
it
with
is.
you?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
Well,
so
exactly. What
prepared
is
if
wrong
this
with
stuff
you?
happens.
Yeah.
Right? Like I am
Yeah, you're gonna be
terrible.
prepared if the comet falls from
Yes.
the sky. And
In everyday life, I'm a nervous wreck, but as soon as the disaster strikes, I am your go-to because I'm ready. I've been
Ready.
waiting for it.
That's
Ready.
what I'm
I have
saying.
been
I'm
standing
so
here waiting for
prepared.
you're always ready.
Yeah.
I've been practicing every possible scenario. Yeah. No, I told him I want to get it tattooed
Yes.
because so many times we'll be talking and having this normal conversation, and then I'll say something of like, well, I mean, but blah, blah, blah could happen. And then what if blah, blah, and he'll just sit there listening,
Yeah.
and then he'll go, yep,
Yeah.
that's the worst case
That is-
scenario.
Yeah.
And then it just brings it back to me of like, oh, yeah, that was a little
That's a
far-fetched.
little over the
But
top.
in my mind, it was so normal.
Yes.
And like, we were just having a
Yes.
conversation, and then he'll kind of point out, like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a bit of an outlier.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like,
okay,
Yeah,
well,
that's-
why
it's out
didn't
there.
your
Yeah.
brain go there, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed it, I guess.
therapists always go, but what if that doesn't happen? I'm like, can we come back to that? Because I'm more concerned with
Right.
what if it does.
What if it does?
What if it does? Are we prepared?
Yeah.
Are we ready? ready.
Never mind what if
No.
it doesn't, because it's going to.
No,
'Cause of
right?
mine.
Yeah.
And I'm ready.
Yep.
I've thought of it all.
Yep.
Well, I've got one more for us.
Okay.
If you want to do one more, and then
okay.
we can get into some writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
stuff.
Sorry, I
Hearing about
derailed
your-
you with your what ifs.
No, I get excited. I get excited.
No, I can talk about anxiety
Yes.
a whole
Oh, we
thing.
can
Same.
talk anxiety.
Same.
Let me hit us here. Here we go.
Okay.
Last one.
All right.
You check in under an alias for a quiet weekend away, only to realize the lodge is hosting a romance book club discussing your latest novel, the one you wrote under a fake name.
Oh.
The club's leader is charming, funny, and deeply critical of you.
Oh.
But he doesn't know who you are yet.
I think I have
wait.
to stay, honestly,
Oh.
because this is just the best setup. These are fantastic book setups, by the way. I mean, the creepy guy in Fern, no. Like, the middle two, no.
Yes.
The other three, these are fantastic.
Can't.
There might have been some checkouts in there on purpose.
Yeah.
so-
Yeah, they can't all be winners.
I feel
right?
like
Yeah.
I would need to stay because I don't know if it's vanity or what, but part of me, you know, I go on Goodreads and look at the bad reviews. I'm like, that is really harsh. Why do you think that? But you kind of got to know, right? I gotta
Yeah.
know.
What's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I have to
No, I
argue
think
with
as soon
them.
as I knew people are talking about me,
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I
That would
gotta
be
hear
good.
what
I
you
gotta
have
know
to
what you.
say.
Yeah.
If-
I gotta
You'd be like,
defend
man,
myself.
you are really into these books.
Yes.
You really know your
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But haven't you ever
Yeah.
felt like this main character and you're like justifying
Yeah.
everything? Right? And the person's like,
love
she's
it.
too
I love
intense. Why is she so involved? It's
Man,
just a
she's-
book.
Man.
Standing there with your
Yeah.
arms crossed.
Right there.
Like,
Well,
clearly
I
you don't
bet
get it.
he felt that
Well,
way
I was-
because
I'm sure the writer thought that it was this and that.
Maybe
yeah.
the writer thought you were
Okay.
smart enough to understand. I don't know.
Yeah,
Sure.
Right?
maybe.
Maybe not.
Maybe you should reread chapter 26
Yeah.
again, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Specifically,
No
Paige,
notes. Yeah. That's fine.
I love it.
I love it.
As long as he doesn't put his arm around.
So
me.
we're
Exactly.
checking into that one.
Yes.
Too,
Or take my
yeah.
phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
Or bring me forgiveness juice.
Okay. Deal. Well, then I'll keep the little setups in
Yeah.
case those are future stories.
Those
Thanks
are fun.
for
awesome.
checking in with us.
Yeah.
for checking
That
in
was
with
a
us.
fantastic game.
Oh, I do want to talk about just what a regular day of writing looks like for you.
What's
Are you
your vibe?
drinking a coffee? Are you dancing around? Is it YMCA time? You know, what's
Well,
happening?
it's
whole
always
party.
Taylor Swift time. Or actually, I'm a
Okay.
huge country music fan. I love
Mm.
music. I love anything
Yeah.
to do with words. I love music and poetry. And, you know, when I am paying attention to the shows and not like spiraling in my own head, it's the dialogue. Like, I'm so captivated and I can never just be full. Well, I am with The Rookie. I love that show so much, but it's the dialogue and the
Nice.
writing, right? Like, and that's the same thing with Friends. It's like Rachel Green is not a likable character, except the writing made her that way. And I
Yes.
always
Yes.
think that there's something so incredible about writing that makes you feel a completely different way than you started. So there's always music, because I feel like you can listen to certain songs and you're like, hey, that's a book right there. Right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
so there's always music. Sometimes, I mean, I do tend to write a lot at the kitchen table instead of my lovely office here. And so sometimes
beautiful.
the music is just, you know, the sound of football and my husband and my girls, right? Because I like to be with
Just
them.
life.
Yeah.
Life.
Yes.
But we often have music going, so that's nice. And like today is a regular writing day. I got up. I'm working on the edits for the final in the series that's out now, Can't Help Falling in Love, You Make It Feel Like Christmas. And so today I got up and I had my breakfast, and I always have Diet Pepsi. I love it. Someone told me the other day that there was this thing for like perimenopause, and it's really, you can like change things and you'll feel so good. I'm like, will I have to give up Diet Pepsi? She's like, yes. I'm like, I'm out. I don't want to feel
like,
better that bad.
That's it.
Not worth it.
I can't
don't
help
wanna-
it.
I really don't want to feel that bad.
I feel
I'll check out on that
right?
one. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that.
Like
I'm checked
I
out.
feel
yeah.
like I should want more for myself, but I just want the pop. So I'm just gonna feel
Yeah,
bad.
no,
and
there-
With
you
you.
have to have
So,
you have to have
yeah,
boundaries. You
yeah.
know,
Absolutely. Priorities.
Yes.
I'm with you on
Yeah.
all the perimenopause
Yeah,
research, all the
right?
protein and
Yeah.
fiber.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's not
water
going to
and
be
all the
okay without
things,
the
but-
pop. So it's my little
Yep.
happiness. So I
It's
usually
not
have
worth
it.
it.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. So I usually
So
have that
true.
unless it's really late. And then I'm always drinking water too. And when I'm writing a book, when I've started a new book, typically my process is I write whatever I can for that day. And then I send it to myself. I go back that night when I go to bed and I read it to myself and I make little notes. And then the next day I go and I fix those things and then I go to the next chapter. I also spend a lot of time before. So last night when I finished editing, I do the same thing, I guess, for editing, because that always feels more like rewriting for me. I think about the next situation, like what's the next moment they're going to have. And I kind of pictured in my head like a movie and what's happening and stuff. And so then I write what I basically saw in my head, and then same thing, read it that night. And if it didn't work or something, you know, an idea will spark from that. And then I just do the whole process until it's done.
Yeah. I love that. That's interesting of editing kind of as you go and the like kind of perpetual
I think the two things that pop out to me, you know, is writing with music that has lyrics. It always messes me up. It's like it comes in my hand, into my hand sometimes.
Yeah.
And I love that you're editing in real time. That's kind of interesting to
Nora
me
Roberts
because
does that. I read that.
I got stuck.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Well,
I love that.
And I think that if you trust yourself, which you need to as a writer, because if you could, you know, you could send your work to 10 people and 10 people, you'll get 10 different responses to it.
Yes.
And I think ultimately I know, and maybe it's because I've been doing it for a while, but ultimately I know if something like it may not be perfect. It's certainly not, but I the vibe is there. And then so when I read it myself later that night, I'm like, I know it's not right. And then that's a time where I might say to like Amy or Kayla, can you read this? And so maybe that's why it doesn't hurt my feelings either, because I asked them to read it because something felt off. Right.
Yeah,
so it's really nice because then I can go into the next part of the book moving forward. It doesn't mean there's not a ton of
like
edits.
You've already figured out.
You've got,
Yeah. And I think that's interesting too, that you kind of play it in your head like a movie or TV scene and then come back to write that. Do you find that you write from like the plot points of what you saw in your head, or do you write from the emotions that you felt when you kind of visualized that? Like where does that,
the
how does that translate?
emotion. So like right now, the scene that I'm writing is they did just sleep together, and this will be on the back cover copy or whatever. It's a brother's best friend. They spent New Year's Eve together. And the thing is, he's like totally into her, and she's just like quit her family business and decided this year my life is for me. So like when I was thinking about it last night, I'm like, he doesn't want to put any pressure on her. He's so happy to be waking up with her. She's a little bit nervous and kind of restless, but also like they're snowed in and she's eager to start this new life, and she's stuck in the thing she chose last night.
Kind of
so
trapped.
I'm thinking about their feelings and stuff, and what does that look like? So so I guess mostly
like what do you wake up to that that fresh day?
The emotions drive the actions. And
Yeah.
the arc. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. That's
very cool.
Awesome. I love it. And I've seen too that you've discussed that the edits, like receiving edits back, like from that external piece from your editor, that can be really hard. And I think we've talked about, our anxiety and our attachment, our love of this thing. But one thing I saw that you wrote is that you, a lot of times we'll read the whole thing and then walk away from it for a little bit.
And I've just learned to do that.
Talk a little bit about that.
And it's really like, it's not something, it's not something that I've ever been good at. Usually when I first started, especially my first edit letter, like real edit letter, because I'd never really had them before St. Martin's. My one for 10 Rules for Faking It was 10 pages. And so that was a big surprise, because when they signed that book, like she was waiting on it because she wanted to sign it. She's like, but I need to show the team 100 pages. I'm like, okay. So I sent her the 100 pages. She's like, they're on board. This is what you need to do. She loved it so much. And regardless of how many books I had already written, I'd never had this process before. So when she came back and she's like, I love your book so much. I mean, she gave me money for it up front, so she must have. I'm like, but you tore it apart.
Like cognitive dissonance.
I'm like, what is happening? You love it except for 10 pages of stuff. But she did love it. And I don't know how the editors do it, because sometimes I think, why aren't you just a writer? Because all those ideas are fantastic. But they think that, you know, like their brain works in a different way. She looks at it and she knows what'll make it better. And they're totally open to, I'm like, I feel pretty married to this. And it's like, okay, I understand that, but maybe you could present it like this. So it is really hard. And especially with 10 Rules, that was about the most personal I'd ever been with my anxiety, to the point that I don't even think I really knew how much of myself I was putting on the page until my best friend, who, you know, Stacy in the book is her best friend. And I've been best friends with mine since I was 13 years old. We've been best friends for 36 years. She knows me well. Wow. She's been through every one of my moods. And she read the book and she's like, I feel like I understand you a tiny bit better in ways that I didn't see before. And I was like, whoa, okay, that's crazy, right? And so,
and beautiful for someone who's known you for so long.
Amazing.
To get to know you. Yeah.
But to say it's not personal, even though like the follow-up books haven't had as much anxiety, no matter if the book could be about an astronaut who, you know, it doesn't matter. It's personal because you have your blood, sweat, and tears in it, right? Like I created it.
Yeah.
100%.
So getting that stodge, your immediate reaction is, wait, what don't you like? Right? And so now
let's talk about this right now.
Yeah, I'm better at sitting with it. And then, because I find it so overwhelming to think I worked really hard on this and now I have to go change so much. And it ends up being a lot of rewriting. So I sit with it and then I go through and I read through the comments, because with the edit letter comes page comments, right? And so I read through those and get a feel for it. And so I just try not to rush myself as much right now. And I don't know if I'm just learning to be gentler. Yeah. I think I'm learning that as I get older. And also telling myself, I know how much Alex loves my writing and my books. They've signed 3 series with me. I'm actually not doing any more with St. Martin's. And I'm hoping I have a new journey coming up. But I've known the entire time that she loves my books. So I have to really remind myself, she's doing this to help me make it better.
Yes,
but
it's
hard.
It's going to come out better on the other side.
I love that you still have that passion and that personal passion after 20 plus books, 25 plus books.
It's
amazing.
It's hard. I have thought of, especially when I don't have a contract, because I've been lucky enough, and with Sophie, I've been so lucky to have those 9 books. Plus I hate odd numbers for things, so I managed to slide in a prequel story for You Make It Feel Like Christmas. So it's a little short story. So I say I have 10 books with St. Martin's Press, 10. Right?
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
But I thought after that, I'm like, okay, should I stop? And I was like, again, I find so much joy in it. So I just finished a book for the first time in 6 years that has nothing to do with any of these worlds, and I'm now back on sub, and I was like, okay, if it
feels fresh.
if I stop feeling the joy, then maybe I won't write it. I don't have to. But it just kept coming.
100%.
Right?
Doing it for the joy of it. Yep.
So,
and that comes out in the writing.
Yes,
that comes out
it
100% for sure.
Just what makes you happy and what you need.
That does kind of make me think, what do you think readers are craving right now from romance, like the romance genre? Like, what's your sense?
Well, it's funny because the political, that's not even the right word, but the background noise is that, you know, everyone wants fantasy and everyone wants romantasy, and romance isn't selling right now, which is a really hard thing to hear. But I haven't met any of my, you know, fellow readers and stuff that don't just love a happy story that makes them feel good. Yeah, you don't want just, you know, there's got to be hiccups and challenges, and you want to see, I think, you know, you said emotionally intelligent earlier. I think people want that. They want to feel like they're connected to the characters and they're rooting for them. Right? Because in a way, it almost feels like we're rooting for ourselves. And that's the beauty of romance, is that I'm at the Vancouver Writers Festival this weekend, and I'm so thrilled because it's one of those festivals that, you know, it's Margaret Atwood is going to be one of their panels. Like, it's serious, like real writers.
Yes.
Wow.
And I've never even gone, never mind. I got asked to be on a panel, and it's a romance panel. And I was like, it needs the recognition that there's so much in romance that makes us feel seen.
Yes.
And so I think...
And safe.
Yes.
Seen and safe. There's trust. There's trust.
Yes.
Trust
I think that's what's so important, is that trust that the happy ever after is coming, even though things are hard. I think like you said, we're all craving that in our own lives. We all want to believe in that hope that the good times are, that it's out there, that happy ever after, and that we're good now, that that we're navigating it and enjoying it as we go.
Yeah.
So,
and it'll be okay, right? Although I do have to, this is terrible, I have to read the end of even romances. even though I know it's going to work out, I have to read the end because I have to make sure it's not too much.
Make sure it's
I have to make sure it's not too emotionally devastating.
That's real, because there are some that have broken.
In the middle of the night, I just hear, and I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah, what's the matter?
Some of them just break you apart and then slowly piece you back together. But it's like, whoa, I would have liked to have known that was coming.
Well, that's just it. You just read the end, and then you know it's coming. You're like, okay, I know this is going to happen. But and then you know what else I do? Sometimes I read how long are they apart? Like I read that, okay, they're only apart for 5 days, so it's okay.
Okay.
Right? Anything more than that,
hard
you're ridiculous.
When you got to go months.
No, you can't.
Months is a lot.
You can't.
It's like, I know you need your time to grow.
You don't need that much.
Have your epiphanies, but amazing. No, thank you. Congrats on your panel.
Yeah,
oh, thank you. No, I just think it's with people saying, oh, romance isn't being sold right now, or it's not as popular, I think. But then these big, monumental things are happening where it's being recognized enough to put a panel in a very prolific festival that is really revered, right? It's very well thought of.
For sure. At the movies, we're seeing the return of rom-coms and things, and it's like, people want to see it, and like you said, there's all these ways,
escapism from culture and the current situations.
Stories to tell. Women have stories to tell. I've seen you quoted, women have layers, and that's what creates the depth of this. And so I absolutely love it. Well, thank you for that. Are you good to answer our final
I'm ready.
five?
The final
I'm ready.
five.
The lightning
my
round,
lightning
as
round.
Ross would say. Yes,
I have
okay.
11 towels. Fancy guest.
Yes.
Fancy guest. Yeah.
And what was the space cowboy?
Oh yes,
Maurice the space
cowboy.
Mrs. Chenandler.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We steal that every week.
Fun fact: when we were in high school, we probably illegally. There's no way we paid for the rights, but we performed 4 episodes. He was Ross.
I got to be Ross.
I directed it, but we did that episode, and I got to make the lightning round.
Yeah, I got to be Ross asking the questions.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Yeah,
that is fantastic.
Yeah,
I don't unless you're now very rich like them. I don't think there's any licensing issues with that. So
I mean, right? The statute of limitations surely is right now.
And who hasn't made a lightning round board? I mean, I have.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody has. Yeah.
That's right.
No, we'll have to post
the lightning round.
We'll have to post the picture of you as Ross.
That's fantastic. In the leather pants.
Yes. Oh my God.
That one makes
it's
me.
It's made of paste.
Yes.
That one makes me giggle every time. I mean, I know what's coming, and I still
laugh
giggle.
so hard. It's ridiculous. I have the little Funko Pop of him with his pants around his knees. It's so funny.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
I didn't know that one existed.
Yeah.
He's the one that we also are like, his physical comedy is unmatched.
Yes.
So funny.
That one episode where Joey's fridge breaks and he pushes Ross
into it.
I have watched that in slow-mo, frame by frame, and I'm like, David Schwimmer did not show that he knew that was
it was coming.
He totally reacted.
That's been broken for a while.
He's like, that's been broken. Oh, man. Let's do a separate
We found our people. Yes.
Please come back and talk Friends trivia with us. Yeah.
Please go.
Regina Flynn.
Regina Flynn.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my, your hand.
Yeah.
Oh, your hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Final five. We should have done Friends trivia.
Right?
Final
yes.
5. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. So just our wrap up, our 5 questions. Don't overthink it. Just whatever comes to your brain. Yeah.
I'm ready.
Just have fun and yes. Okay. Number 1, open door or closed door?
Both. I'm totally great with both. I do not mind open door.
Sexiest? Yes, good. And now I know she's evolving.
Yeah, I just am not writing it yet.
I love it. Sexiest occupation for a main character?
I feel like
lodge owner.
Yeah.
Lodge owner. I feel like I don't know. I still feel like cops and doctors are like, I don't know what it is, but they're and yet I don't have those.
A little bit of authority.
Yeah,
okay.
there you go.
Right.
I've revealed too much.
We know what Matt's going to be for Halloween. Okay.
He's going to have the white coat, and then he's going to take it off, and it's a cop.
A
Kevlar vest underneath.
I'm a cop.
Yeah,
Kevlar vest.
Yeah, I'm a cop. Oh, man. Okay, favorite beverage while riding?
Diet Pepsi.
Yeah, that one for sure. Favorite punctuation mark?
M dash. I use them for everything.
I know.
I just make a sentence go forever.
Important. It's
Yes.
so important.
Yeah.
You have
Totally
to have
with you.
all the
Yeah.
context,
Yeah.
yes, of everything
Yeah.
it provides. Okay, and one word you always overuse in first drafts.
Just. I'm like, and I
Oh,
don't know
that's a good
why.
one.
I'm like, I'll read
wow.
it back and it'll be like, and she just wanted to do this, so he just did this,
Mhm.
and I'm like, why?
Oh,
Like, why are
wow.
you like
Yeah.
trying so
I love that.
hard?
Yeah.
I love that.
I find
That's
myself
my
at
favorite.
work like taking just out of my emails.
Yep.
I just wanted to reach out.
Yes.
Just
It's
wanted to
like,
let you
why?
know
Yes.
X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, I'm like, why do I
Yes,
need to do
I'm
that?
just
qualifying.
checking. Like,
I'm just
Yeah.
checking.
I'm checking.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and
yeah.
I'm
can just-
Canadian,
you can
so there's
just check.
just, and I'm sorry. I'm just checking. I'm really sorry. I just wanted to
Sorry.
know, and sorry to
That's
ask.
amazing.
Right?
I love it.
So,
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you
Oh,
so
this was
much. We're gonna
wonderful.
Matt's gonna
Yeah.
wrap us
I'll wrap us up real quick
Yeah.
here. So Sophie, gosh, my goodness, thank you so much for joining us today. It was so fun. For everybody out there listening and watching, go grab maybe this once. It's the perfect opposites attract small town romance and third book in the Rock Bottom Love series. We'll drop Sophie's website and social down in the comments, and you can connect with her there. But thank you so much for the conversation about writing and family and everything else. Like, we really appreciate your time today.
Me
Thank
too.
you.
This was awesome.
Yes,
Thank you so
thank
much for
you.
having me. You guys were so fun.
Yeah. Thank you so much again to Sophie Sullivan for your time. And I really appreciate when we can get into these deeper discussions with this like long form with authors, the vulnerability and the candor. I think it really helps us as authors and just as humans too. It's a special community, romance authors. We're so grateful. So thank you, Sophie. You can find her on Instagram at author Sophie Sullivan or on her website at sophiesullivanauthor.com.
Nice.
So go check her out.
Yeah.
Get her new book. It comes out February 10th. Maybe this once. The third book in the Rock Bottom Love trilogy. You don't have to read them. They are standalones, but it does help to have read the trilogy just to go back and revisit these characters as you're seeing Grayson get his story. So check that out February 10th.
That's right. And you can find us online.
For 1 year now.
For 1 year.
You've been able to find us on Instagram.
Instagram, Our Next Chapter Podcast. Mm-hmm. We have an email. What is it?
ournextchapterpod@gmail.com.
That's right. We also have a website. What is that?
I forget.
Go ahead. You say the name, and then I will help. I will give the supplementary details. Go ahead.
ournextchapterpodcast.com.
TTP.
Go sign up for our non-existent newsletter. Get your name in the back of our book when we publish it. You think we'll publish in year 2?
Of course. I'm still giving the website. www.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Dot.
Happy podcast anniversary. Thank you to all of you who have been on this journey with us for a year now. We're so grateful. We're excited for what year 2 will bring. Hopefully the book. But we're so thankful to the authors.
Definitely in year 2, we've made some
taught us along the way. And I just think about how much it's grown and evolved. I think the first time we talked for a long time, Matt had the idea to have a podcast, but I was somewhat resistant, kind of scared to step outside my comfort zone. And one day he just handed me a microphone when we were sitting in our living room and said, let's record the first episode right now. And to go from that, which was scary, but I was impressed when it came together. And I said, wow, it sounds like a real thing. Just over time, how it grew and just sharing our love of this genre and of these authors, the way that we've found connections and real friendships with authors, really incredible. Moving to YouTube and filming. I think if I'd known all that when he handed me that first microphone, I really might have been overwhelmed and you
would have said no thank you.
I would have been scared, but I'm so proud. I'm proud of us.
I love that we get to do this together.
Yeah,
that's probably my favorite thing about it.
Me too.
You know, as soon as, like I've always said, as soon as it stops being fun, I'm not interested. But it's great to spend time together and do this together and, have a shared project.
Yeah. And it's fun with our friends and listeners that reach out and send, things they love and fun feedback and thoughts about the different, Matt's bits.
Oh, yes.
All of Matt's.
I got more planned.
All the ways to keep me on my toes. Oh, yes. Who knows what year 2 will bring. So thank you for being on this journey with us. And we will see you next time.
Yeah.
Until then, I love you.
And I love you. Do you want me to spell it again? HTTP.
Can this be the retirement? Like we
forward
did
slash. There's 2 forward slashes in there. Then a www.
We don't need it again. No.
Our next chapter.
No, I don't think so. I think we can just let it go. Like this will be the conclusion of that bit. And now I think, you know what? My challenge for you is to come up with a new bit in year 2.
Okay.
I'm excited.
I can spell the Instagram one.
Why is there spelling? You hate spelling.
Helping people. Helping.
I'm
a helper.